When money is super tight, reprioritizing will stop the panic.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
We are honored that for over 35 years, we've been able to come alongside you, not only selling, buying, and investing in real estate, and over 3,117 times, but coming alongside you to build your fun, build your fitness, build your faith, build your finances, and even strengthen, heal, and flourish inside relationship. The Wealth Formula Expanded is so good for my heart, good for all that ails me, because it's helping me reprioritize.
Yeah.
Is it helping you reprioritize is the big question. Just being aware, tracking and awareness and touching the fundamentals one more time, I don't think ever gets old.
No. What does panic feel like around finances, Yana?
Well, it feels like I can't speak, closing in my throat almost. Like I feel physically restricted. I have gotten sick over it sometimes. I've gotten headaches. I've gotten wake up in like hot sweats, and not from hot flashes, but wake up in like hot because I'm distressed and I'm feeling under the control of money where I'm not doing a good job, heart palpitations.
Yeah, I feel it in the chest. I feel the stress, the anxiety.
How about high blood pressure?
Moving in my chest. Yeah, probably high blood pressure. And one of the things that we've learned is that when you focus on the real important things,
the essentials,
whether that's rent or mortgage, utilities, food, cover the most essential things. Transportation. Now, transportation, people might think, oh, well, I have to have a car to get to work. Well, no, there is public transit.
Well, depending on where you live.
For most places, there's public transit. So sometimes what we think is essential, like having internet or cable or something, is essential. Well, is it really, really essential? Because an emergency fund is one of those things that I think is essential, because if you want to avoid that panicky feeling, then having some cash in the bank. What was the RBC report, Yetta?
Okay, this scared me, like down to the bottom of my toes, like shaking in my boots scared me. 62% of Canadians, if they have an unexpected expense, a financial emergency, like, guess with me for a minute before I give you the number. How many thousands of dollars or how many dollars do you think it would be before they would have to consider getting a loan?
Getting credit. Putting it on credit.
In other
words, they don't have cash in the bank.
Because they don't have an emergency fund or a cushion or excess money just sitting somewhere that's easily accessible that they can get out with. Even if it was in your TFSA, that is cushion. That could be emergency fund. It doesn't have to be in your savings account. It just has to be something you can get to within 48 hours or so, right?
Right.
So what do you think the dollar number was? I figured it would be $5,000 to $10,000. Like if I was thinking real, because if we're doing a zero budget and if we're planning where we're spending our money and if we're aware of where it's going and we have an emergency fund, then most people's emergency fund will be $3,000 to $10,000, depending on how much money they make and how much their monthly expenses are.
Right.
So I'm thinking it's certainly in the thousands. $500. 62% of Canadians would need to borrow. And borrow is your credit card too. A cash advance is borrowing, whether we want to call it that or not.
Or putting the expense on your credit card and not being able to pay it off at the end of the month.
Right.
That's borrowing.
It is borrowing. So we don't want you to be part of that 62% of Canadians.
Right.
That need to borrow for a $500 expense. I mean, that's pretty minimal in the scheme of things.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things in the wealth formula, one of the first steps is to save an emergency fund. And it's not about I've got debt at a high interest rate. Shouldn't I pay that off? No, save an emergency fund so you stop going to debt when you have problems and you have cash. And it takes away the panic because now you have cash for unexpected things. And some things are expected, like Christmas is not unexpected, okay? So that's not an emergency. You wouldn't dip into your emergency fund because Christmas showed up. It's coming every year.
Well, you're planning for it is the intent, right? With a zero budget, which if you didn't watch or listen to segment B of week 2, you'll want to go back to that to get a good clarity or get great clarity on what a zero budget is. So when you have a zero budget, you already know where your money is being allocated. And part of it is putting money toward your emergency fund or your cushion, your excess that you can access when you need it for something that is truly unexpected.
Yeah, and we see it frequently. Like one of our clients was over for dinner actually the other night, and she said her one tenant is behind in rent, and it's because the car needed a repair. So when the car needed a repair, that put them behind, so they couldn't make their rent payment on time. Interesting, hey? So cars are going to break down. Part of the emergency fund is you put money in there when it needs, because then when it needs tires or it needs brakes or something goes wrong with it, you're covered.
You are covered. And it's simple. It's a simple construct. It's a simple formula. It's very, very simple. It's not always easy though. Because if we've been living, and for us, we didn't catch on to the principles the first time, the second time. It wasn't until the third consolidation that we finally realized it was broken. It wasn't working. And so just being willing to be uncomfortable in the short term, to start to put money aside, even if you're paying interest. We would often say back in those days, well, isn't it better I pay off high interest? And no, because what's going to happen, and we did it again and again, we would put money back on the credit cards because we had no money to get a hold of to pay for the thing that needed to be paid for. We don't want that for you. No. We will drive this one home again and again and again because it is a life-changing, but not necessarily one that seems intuitive.
Right. And in the book, Zane says, he looked at them and he said, you can't build a future while you're still trying to survive today. So secure the basics first, then you can breathe, and then you can build. So such wisdom coming from this guide in this book, Zane.
And if you haven't got a copy of the book yet, you do want to either pop into the office and buy one for $25, taxes in, and we'll autograph it for you if you would like that. Just let us know when you're coming. And or you can buy it on Amazon.ca and just follow along with us. If you haven't read it yet, it's literally a weekend read. It's not even a weekend read. It's really about a 4-hour read. It's a story. We're told, and we find it enjoyable, but we're also told by thousands that it is enjoyable and still something you can learn from. And then a lot of what we're talking about will make even more sense. Dollars and cents.
Dollars and cents. Lovely. So stability comes from being in sequence with your significant other, and peace always starts with the basics. Go back to basics. And we're thankful that you joined us on Life's Inside Track, because when we move forward together, we've got this.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving